Hey everyone, I don't know if you have ever seen and followed me before, but I have not made a post or a TikTok a video in a really long time, and I have actually been thinking about making this video for exactly 30 days. I got a very significant sign tonight that it was something that I needed to do, and this is not a normal type of video that I have ever done. So I, exactly a month ago today, had a dream that was incredibly significant and completely has altered my life. I have seen other people on social media experiencing like similar things, and lots of talk about, Jesus's return and revelations and all the things, and that's just a really big topic. So I had a very significant dream that I would like to share with you. It was exactly 30 days ago on this day. I fell asleep, and it was daylight. I was on these bleachers that were silver bleachers, like softball field type bleachers, with like maroon red. And I was sitting next to someone, and I took a selfie. And then something made the selfie weird, and so I redid the picture. And when I went to look at my phone, the picture showed me and another person sitting next to me, and then an angel behind me. So in the moment that I looked and saw that the angel was there, I was scared at first, and then I just lost my breath. I was like, oh, and then I was in this like complete like wonder and awe that I was seeing this right now. And then I started to analyze the angel for a bit, noticing that it wore a white robe, like illuminate, lit up. It was like bright, very white, and then very pale skin in a color that I can't explain. And then it had like coily hair that was changing length, and it was red. And then eyes that like the color part of your eyes, but it swirled, and then there was multiple colors in it that I described to be like a unicorn. So like blue and some silver, and I don't know, just majestic-y movement in the eyes. And I was then lifted up like I was gonna go to heaven, and it wasn't like I could see like the earth beneath me. It's just like I was in a light, and I knew I was being lifted up to go to heaven. And I was like, oh my God, did I die? Like, what's happening? And I just kind of was like, I'm not ready. And then once I said that, I was now kind of back where the bleachers were, but I was like hovering over the ground. I was very aware that it was like my angel was carrying me. I was higher, like just barely higher than maybe a street post that I went over. And then the scene changed. I was then in this neighborhood that looked a little bit cartoon-like, but not any sort of like cartoon or animation that I've seen. So just very different. There was a asphalt street, and then there was a bunch of houses lined up that were kind of like, I live in Arizona, so KB homes, like 2-story cookie cutter neighborhood type home, like houses. And there was some sidewalk. So you know how you have a sidewalk on your street, and then you have the sidewalk from the sidewalk that goes to your front door. There was certain houses that had women like laying like on their side, like on their hip, and they were kind of wearing like a long dress, but they were dirty. They had smudge marks on, their face or their clothes or their arms or whatever, and you could just tell they were like dirty. And then I get dropped off, and I go into this specific house. Once I'm in the house, there are 3 separate rooms, here, and here. Let's say like a car, like a train car. And then there's a fourth room. I never went in that one. I can't remember which order this happened in, but I've been telling it to some of my closest friends, this order. So I'm going to keep saying it that way because I think this is what happened. I go into the third room and there is this long table, like the Last Supper table. And there was just, I think, 2 people in there, one person at the head of the table, another person kind of around the side of the table, like maybe 4 chairs away from me. And I noticed that there was music playing, loved it. And then it was like a name was announced and everybody celebrated, like so happy, like big celebrations. The way that I perceived it was that like every half hour a new name was getting announced and like everybody stopped what they were doing to like celebrate that person's name. So now I go out of this room and I'm in the middle room and there's a few people around and there's music and I'm dancing and I am having a great time and I'm thinking to myself, oh, like I hope we don't have to, like, because I forgot to tell you this, but it wasn't like a house party. It was more like I felt like I was at work. I was like at a job or something. And I've worked from home for years, so that's kind of weird. But I'm dancing, I'm having a great time, and I'm thinking like, oh, I hope they let us do this the rest of the day, and we don't have to go back to work and like our desks and like do all this stuff, and like we can just like dance and have fun. This is great. And I wear heels a lot, and so I look down and I'm wearing heels. But if you wear high heels, your toes are inside the tip of the shoe, and you normally can't see them, but I could see my toes. And so I moved my feet like this, and my toes, and there was these long smudges of like mud, and I was like so embarrassed, like really embarrassed, like I hope nobody saw that. So I walk around this other table that's in this room and I take my shoes off one at a time and I lay them for some reason upside down. I don't normally do that at home, but I went to kind of clean my feet and my feet were so clean. They were never dirty, just completely spotless, super clean. And I'm like, wow. So now I'm dancing again. I'm barefoot. I'm dancing on my toes. And there's a couple girls at this table next to me. And I'm thinking like, I can see that they're talking about me and I'm really nervous. And I'm thinking they're saying something mean. And I'm thinking like, oh, am I being too much? Like, what are they saying about me? Do they not like me? And then suddenly I can hear one of the girls speak and she's saying like, oh, look, it's that beautiful dancer girl. And they seemed like they just really were so happy that I was there. Like they had already known me. And I was like, oh, they like me. And I know I'm not going to get through everything in this, so I'm going to have to do a separate video that connects to my childhood that I do want to go over with you. So I'm going to try to speed up my talking. So I, at some point, leave the house. I get outside and everything's back to nighttime again on the street. And there's the girl kind of blocking the sidewalk. And there's a tree. And then there is a whole bunch of like rocks underneath the tree. I know I can't go past this girl. So the tree picks me up and it floats me over to the sidewalk and just softly presses me down. I don't feel like I'm like in my body. I feel like, I don't know what I feel like, but not like, a soul, if I'm going to be honest with you. And then I'm walking down the street and I see other people walking and I stop them and I'm like, oh my God, you got to go like in this house. Like it's so amazing. There was 2 key things that happened that I didn't quite understand until I, started doing a whole bunch of research over this last month. So there was something with Whitney, and it seemed sad, like a little bit, but not super, super sad, but just sad for that person or that situation, whatever it was, Whitney. And then also something very significant with October, particularly the month of, Halloween. So I'm going to pause this video and hopefully a post, and then I'm going to go a part 2. I hope I don't go 3 parts, but it might be 3 parts. You guys bear with me. I'm so sorry. This is just, I can't believe I'm sharing this with you, but I just am very called to do this today.